Because the last part of it was what we had to do on media overall. Where do we place this and how do we go? And in these times, I think it's really important to be extremely strategic about the partnerships, where we go and what we do. And we chose 3 or 4 partnerships and really focused a lot on there because it was where we thought the majority of our target could be and what we could do. NBC was terrific. They partnered with us incredibly. We did America's Toughest Jobs, which there was full integration both on the site, on their show, on their site, and all pieces of it. And we also chose to do something innovative to do promotional spots with them for their Thursday night comedy. It was one of the first time they've actually really taken all those promo spots that the networks have, which is such valuable real estate, and incorporated us into it. They even did creative. So we took the collaboration from all of us also to the theme, to the networks and everything. So they built creative for us around the theme of the RAM Challenge, Never Back Down, and allowed us to get a lot more visibility and really leverage any media weight that we had. Fox was another terrific partner. We did focused on the Sarah Connor Chronicles because it was the show that we felt best targeted, hit our target audience on all things. We did promotions, sweepstakes, promotional spots with them all through the show, and then did on one of their major cliffhanger, the 2 hour, was it a 2 hour episode, that one? It was an amazing episode. If you watch Sarah Connor Chronicles or into it, it was great. And we were the only commercial, and we were able to use really entertainment media to fit into that. So it was, I thought, one of the most interesting integrations I've seen, because the content that we developed here fit perfectly into what the whole theme of the show was. So it was really seamless, and I thought it was more interesting for any consumers and viewers to see. And then the 4th peg of this was to really partner with Yahoo. We consider Yahoo almost as a 4th network, a new portal. So we really ramped it up on that side. And it was, it's really come through, as you've heard from the metrics that Joe talked about, the traffic, the site visits. Again, remember, we're in the most challenging time for interest in a truck launch, and all of our numbers are far beyond our targets. I mean, we're really exceeding our targets on every point. What's most interesting is we've seen that the web metrics are completely an indicator of consideration, traffic. They're the leading indicator, and as we look at metrics for what we do in our industry, that absolutely tells us what's going to happen on the showroom floor and where we go. So to be able to exceed that with the content, I just say kudos to the whole team, because it's really been able to attract and get us into the places, again, where we need to be. So here we are, we're at the end, and all I want to emphasize is a few last points, and then we can get to any questions or any things that we need to do. There's about 5 key lessons. I had to write them down so I don't forget them. But
5 key lessons.
Yes, 5 key lessons. Do not forget this, because we're going to do it again. I think the first lesson that we learned in all this collaboration is we absolutely have to be relentless about the brief and the targets and the metrics that we're trying to achieve. And that was my role. I have a very small role in all this with all the team that played. I just called weekly meetings with the full team. Every single member had to have a representative there. And we had weekly meetings, and we focused on the brief, the strategy, make sure everything was delivering, and what were the metrics. Everything had a target. Everything had to be delivered on, and we reported on how we were close to achieving those targets at every time. And I think, again, for a complex launch like that, where you have so many messages and so many different consumer targets, just being relentless about that makes it a very nice, tight box. Yes. For everyone to play in, and then they can go be free and be as creative and cool as possible, because those are the things that this team came up with, things that I would never have done. Thanks a lot. No. And it was, actually push. No, it was absolutely pushed the limits, but as long as, again, it was in that box, it was great. Our second key lesson was to involve everyone early, consistently, and communicate openly. So there were no levels, hierarchy or anything on this team. Everyone could call anyone, and again, as I said, we had weekly meetings so that everyone was vested in one key goal, and there wasn't any tolerance for any, this is your job, this is my job. And I think most of that comes in how innovative we did our online. We know that online serves, it's got the whole entertainment piece plus the very retail selling piece, and I think in the combination of what organic and mechanism achieved, we're able to make sure that we answer that call and funnel through seamlessly on every piece, and again, that's where the results are going. Third, challenge one another and ask questions. We had a lot of knockdown dragouts.
We did.
We really did, which was great about, how important is the blowing up of the vehicles versus the get a quote and where did these go and where did they go? And I think all of that was really healthy, and that's the way it should be, because consumers are in this, you have this whole thing in these economic times, people need escapism. They want to be entertained completely, but at the same time, if we don't drive them into our showrooms, we have not done our job on the investment. So we need that balance, and we need to duke it out and sort of challenge each other in a really positive way to do all that. 4 is don't be afraid to seek the opinion. That whole piece in the beginning that David did about agencies and turf battles and who's getting more business is so irrelevant today. And if we go and succumb to that, it will be bad for everyone. The only way to achieve in these kinds of times is absolute collaboration, partnership, building on each other, and doing what we do best. I always look at the Marines. I love the Marines. In the Marines, everyone has a task. They know their specialty, they're part of the team, they deliver their task to the utmost. They might be trained on some other people's tasks, but they know what to do, and that brings the best collaboration ever, because you rely on each other. Everyone does their specialty to their utmost, and then in the end, the performance is much, much better than you could have gotten anyway. So all I say is there's no time for any of the others. We just have to be together. And last point is making collaboration the rule, not the exception. It is and will be the only way to win in 2009, and understanding that media can go across all these different ranges, and that it's really seamless now. There really is, between internet, TV, entertainment, classic, you can see now, and the technology, like Jason said, that you can really, all the experiences are becoming much more aligned. Then you can really make sure we touch those consumers in every method, and we have absolutely something for them at whatever stage they are.